Valentine by Wendy Cope. Appropriate for the weekend, I think. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. Whatever you've got lined up, my heart has made its mind up. And if you can't be signed up this year, next year will do. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. Today is Friday, the 13th of February. Being a Friday the 13th, the seances for the day are sold out or very close to selling out or anticipated selling out. It's going to be a busy night because Spooky Hotel plus Friday the 13th. And I am anticipating a fun, interesting weekend as well. Valentine's Day tomorrow, and at least one of the shows is sold out. Let's do a seance on Valentine's Day. Is a very interesting proposition and attracts a very specific kind of person. And I very much look forward to that. I get to speak, I get to tell stories, I get to preach in a non-preachy, non-sleight of hand sort of way. I read a study this morning about the loneliness of people, specifically the loneliness of men in this particular day and age. And some react to that loneliness with an extremely negative viewpoint of the world. And some simply just see it as the way the world turns, and that's the way it is. And some, maybe like me, recognize that they put themselves into a place of loneliness. And now is a time of self-examination, a time to love oneself, a time to, well, at my age, pursuit of romance and physical affection take a whole different perspective than it was when I was a younger man, in a very different time. So I find myself pursuing romance in poetry and books and the things that I write down on paper. I have fallen in love with the world in all of its ugliness and scars and beauty and contradiction. You get one time around, right? I am learning to love myself and the gifts that I bring to the world. And at an age of 60, what legacy am I leaving behind? Certainly some very brilliant children that have made their own mark in the world, continue to make their own mark in the world. Proud of every one of them. How will they remember me? Some of them not kindly, and I've more or less come to terms with that. How will the world remember me? And I think for a time, they will remember, and then not at all. My story won't long be told, I don't believe, which is fine. I've done good things, I've done bad things, I've lived a life. I am having a grand adventure, and I hope that I am putting more positive into the world than I have put negative. I'm striving hard at that now. Not, let me make this part really clear, not out of any anticipation of reward or punishment. I no longer believe in reward or punishment beyond this life. And I am striving to not strive for reward or punishment in this life. To be is just a simply remarkable adventure by itself. Anyway, I do a show. I do a show that I'm proud of. I do two shows that I'm proud of, a magic show and the seance show. I sleep well at night. I'm having surgery next week. We are starting the the oral adventure all over again. There was a problem in replacing my teeth, and there was infection in my jaw that spread into my face and into my eyes, and a lot of it triggered by vaccine. I'm 100% in favor of vaccines. Let me make that very, very clear. My body reacted poorly, but I'm a very small case. I did not die from the disease I was vaccinated against, though I caught it a couple of times. Pre-vaccine and then, between the boosters, milder cases for certain. You ever just start rambling and not know what direction your road is going to go into? I've kind of lived a life like that. Anyway, I am proud of the shows that I do. I get to live in a very beautiful place where wild animals wander through my backyard. Deer and elk and moose and bear and mountain lion. Who'd have thought? And I have a lovely partner. And I have a beautiful dog. And I still sit in periods of loneliness. Not sadness. Let me stress that as well. Not a sad pining for the world kind of loneliness. But I don't have anyone that I could call best friend or someone who I could trust with all of my secrets and know that they would never betray me. Now, my partner certainly would keep secrets and never betray me, but there are things she cannot understand about who I am. The best friend, the circle of friends that lift and hold each other up, I do not have that. And there are times I have to come to terms with that. I cannot just pick up the phone and say, let's all get together for coffee or drinks. Or I'm really trying hard not to sound like I'm lamenting, because I'm not. It's this article that I read about loneliness and how it affects different people and the way different people have of approaching it and dealing with it and bearing that burden. So I write, and I pulled out an old keyboard and I have started writing music again. Not good at that. I create and I improve the show. And I'm questioning myself about these videos and why I make them. And am I simply out fishing, looking for your approval? Am I looking for your clicks and your views? And that's not what I want. I want to be helpful. I want the words that I have to reach someone in the time that they need to hear them. And so all of that to simply say this. If you have watched this far, and maybe you've never heard of me, the tiny amount of fame that I had and continue to sort of have. But if you watched this far and you are still listening and you came across this by accident, perhaps this was specifically meant for you. You are important to the world. Your opinion, your talent, your art, the things you have to say, the way you see the world. Even if it is only to one person, even if it is only to yourself, you are a glorious, shining part of the universe around us. Take heart in that. Don't hurt anyone. Don't hurt yourself. Make magic, make music. Pick it up again. You've set it down for too long, but it's never too late until you close your eyes for the last time. Leave me a message if this helped you. Leave me a message if you just want to chat or want someone to have a conversation with. I'm open for that. Continue to make magic in your world. Continue to hear the music that is all around you. Find joy where it is. A personal note. I have been seeking for months now a reason to keep doing the things that I do, a reason to keep making these videos and talking to people. Certainly not the show. The show is the show, and that is there, for as long as it is. But in the angry, hot, friction-filled world that we live in right now, what place do I have to sit here as a teacher or a shaman or a guru or a Buddhist or a Stoic to tell you anything? And then I saw the Super Bowl halftime show. Would have watched the game anyway, but I specifically set aside time to be completely focused on what was going on, because there's a lot of controversy back and forth. I had heard of Bad Bunny peripherally. I knew he was continues to be like the hottest, most popular artist in the world. But the world's a big place, and he had not reached my ears until that point. But I watched with the open mind that I strive to have. And what struck me at the end wasn't the message that he tried to get across. I speak some Spanish, and I picked up on a few things. It wasn't even the dance or the production or the voice, or it wasn't any of those things, because there were times I found myself going, okay, yeah, oh, Lady Gaga, oh, that's cool, where's she been? Haven't heard from her in a while. Hey, is that Ricky Martin? How cool is that to bring Ricky Martin in? And look, there are the celebrities, they're celebrating on the field. And that's where it hit me. Celebrating. The man looked at his life and his culture and where he came from, and when offered the opportunity on sincerely the world's biggest stage, make no mistake about that, biggest stage in the world, he chose to look at his hardship and his growth and his passions and his anger and his lust and everything that made up his life and celebrate it. The tremendous amount of joy that I could feel radiating from that production was simply overwhelming. A large amount of people that were watching did not understand a single word he said, but the joy was undeniable. And in a world so full of anger and so full of resistance, and a world that is becoming, from my perspective, more and more devoid of art, he protested by being joyful. Simply by being joyful. And I've watched it over and over again. And the joy does not diminish. And yes, I watched the alternatives. Watched the Puppy Bowl. I watched the Turning Point USA. And I wish it was a show. It was someone displaying their art. It was someone putting their heart out on the stage for a light to see. I can't argue with that. I can't condemn that. I can't compare that, because my philosophy is art defies comparison the way that I want to see it. I wish they had had more joy in what they were doing. More joy. I think to take away a portion of what the final act had to say in the Turning Point, the basic message of the final song was, this is it. You have one life. You can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this until you can't. You can worship until you can't. You can spend time with your kids until you can't. You can write love songs and make art until you can't. Punch up the joy, and nobody's asking for my opinion. Punch up the joy a little more. You get to make art. You get to worship. You get to have passion in life. Here's your opportunity. Now's the time to take it. And in seeing the performances, I came to the conclusion that I am not doing this for ego or personal. I'm doing it as an outlet. I'm spilling my heart out. And if you like it, great. And if you don't, okay. There's plenty of other things to bring you joy, but honestly, rather than seeking out the anger, rather than seeking out a reason to be mad, find a reason to be happy. Find as much joy as you can gather in this short life. And I hope there's love where you are.